Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a group of student leaders went to the state capitol to talk about the importance of the 2020 census for Eastern Kentucky. And back here in Perry County, students from Corbin made a trip to the Challenger Center to learn how coal mining could be used in the future on Mars.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
The time is now 6:33 and my name is Lacey Roberts. Thank you for joining us on Mountain News this morning. It's hump day, it's Wednesday, but we're going to make it through this week. We had that beautiful weather yesterday and today, but tomorrow's not looking too good, Brandon. But we have something forward to look to because spring is coming, right?
About a week away, a little bit more than a week away, but it'll be here before we know it. Let's take a look at our issue this morning, and it is fog and it is dense, so just be careful out there and give yourself plenty of time to get around, and we're going to continue to see that cause issues through about mid-morning. Temperatures are in the 50s right now for the most part, right around 50, let's call it that. Some upper 40s in some locations across the state and regions. More of the same. 42 Paducah, 50 Nashville, 51 Tri-Cities, 45 in Cincinnati, 46 Ashland, Louisville, and Lexington. Forecast for today, back and forth with the sun and clouds, maybe a stray chance or two, but not a whole lot expected. 64 for a daytime high. Extended forecast on the way here in just a little bit. Lacey.
Thank you, Brandon. From coal camp to space camp, fourth graders from Corbin Independent visited the Challenger Center in Hazard yesterday for a new Mars Invasion Museum. Also visiting was former Governor Paul Patton, and I was there to take a look at the new addition. Picture it. The year is 2030, and we have a colony on Mars. That is what NASA intends to do between the years 2030 and 2040.
Fourth graders are going to be the perfect age to be those astronauts.
But until then, fourth graders from Corbin Independent are pretending to prepare for that long journey. Different stations, such as virtual reality.
And the students can actually feel like they're on Mars.
Some believe there are minerals on Mars that could benefit Earth.
A lot of the techniques that the coal miners used are going to be used to mine the water that's on Mars.
STEAM techniques, science, technology,
it's like in the middle.
Engineering, arts, and math help them explore the possibilities of the future.
This helps get them engaged and possibly aware of the type of careers they might want to explore in the future.
Joining in to help explore, former governor and education advocate Paul Patton. Pleased to see the Challenger Center 20 years later, still only one of 3 in the state of Kentucky.
We wanted to have the children of Eastern Kentucky to have the same kind of opportunities that the children anywhere would have.
Preparing them for the future, no matter what that may be.
But you have to prepare for them, just like you prepared for your excursion here today.
Hoping these fourth graders can shed some light.
To let people here in the mountains realize their potential is unlimited, but they have to prepare for it.
And the building at the Challenger Center was a part of a project that the former governor was a part of. Now seeing that, says it makes him happy that they pushed so hard for something so unique here in the mountains. And navigating Pikeville Medical Center is really hard with more than 100 million square feet. It can be confusing for patients and visitors. Now there is an app for your phone to make your experience easier. The PMC Wayfinder app uses nearly 900 Bluetooth beacons throughout the hospital to guide anyone through the hallways. Marketing Director Al Greensfield says you can even use the app from home.
It will give you turn by turn to the hospital. Once you're on the hospital property and our Bluetooth beacons are picking you up, the app automatically changes over to the turn-by-turn for the hospital.
If you don't have a cell phone, there are also 7 kiosks set up throughout the hospital to help you reach your destination. The app requires Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and your location services turned on. You can use the app to get to any PMC branch. It is available on any Apple or Android device. The Kentucky Valley Educational Cooperative Student Senate is focused on informing people of this year's census and its importance. WYMT's Madison program was in Frankfort to take a look at their specific efforts and why the census matters to Eastern Kentuckians.
Every 10 years, the U.S. Census comes around. This year, there is heightened importance for the people in Eastern Kentucky to participate.
Like for instance, like you'll get an area, like an entire holler back home. Okay, like 75 people live up that holler. But if you only have 40 of those people that actually report, then the money allocated to maintain their roads, is not going to be there because they're going to say, well, there's hardly anybody that lives up there.
The census is not only to know how many people live where, but more importantly, for money allocation.
Like if those people are not reported, clinics don't have enough money to maintain, and then you have 911 facilities that sometimes have to shut down.
Now students from 23 Eastern Kentucky school districts have stepped up, creating the Every Community Counts initiative.
We feel like a lot of the barriers that prevent us from counting everyone accurately is community outreach and overall understanding, so we've tried to target those issues.
Implementing several ways to inform the public.
We've already created some commercials, and they've came out in 3 stages.
From commercials to music.
So our middle school and high school choir created a song to sing, to send out on Facebook and other social media platforms.
Different schools with different ideas, all with the same goal, no matter who you are or where you live.
It's not just like the towns of Hazard and it's, and Whitesburg and Pikeville, but it's places like Marbone, Feisty, those places.
You are important when it comes to participating in the census.
We have to get everyone counted in order to be able to have the best Kentucky possible. We have to stand together.
Trying to build our communities to form a better Kentucky. In Frankfort, Madison Pergram, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, you will receive invitations to participate in the census starting April 1st. You can respond by phone, mail, or online. When filling out the census, whoever is living in your household on April 1st is who you will report on the census. And $2 million worth of quick release emergency funds will come to the Bluegrass to help flood damaged roads. To date, more than 160 damaged federal aid sites across 10 counties were reported with estimated damage cost upwards of $10 million as the assessments continue. The funds will reimburse Kentucky for costs associated with emergency repairs needed to prevent further damage. Many of those roads are here in the mountains. And a judge lowered the bond of a woman indicted for abusing her adopted children. If Jennifer Stacy is able to post bond of $50,000 cash, she would then be under home incarceration. Stacy, along with her husband Thomas, were indicted last month. Investigators say they abused kids they adopted for about 10 years. Thomas also faces sex-related charges. His bond was not changed. Both will appear in court April 6th. And a Harlan County murder case is moving forward. On Monday, a judge sent the case of Richard Cody to a grand jury. He is the man police believe killed Matthew Smith in a home last month. Cody also faces wanton endangerment charges. Police in Tennessee arrested him. The grand jury will decide whether to indict Cody.
Some dense fog out there this morning, so take it easy and slow it down on your morning drive and watch out for those school buses because they could be hidden in some of that fog. Temperatures close to 50, a couple of degrees below or above that in most locations this morning, but 50 is a round number. Looking at the out the door forecast, we're going to head from 50 to about 64 today, a mixture of sun and clouds. So again, not a gloomy overall day, but gloomy at times today, and the rain chances should stay on the stray side. Lacey?
Thank you for joining us for Mountain News this morning. Just ahead, we have a pet in our studio.